Hi, my name is John Garvey and I'm one of the doctors in Bayview Family Practice, which is located in South Donegal. Welcome to our series of brief videos which demonstrate how we use HealthOne, our practice management software. To start, I'm going to present a short guide on how I use this software on a daily basis. Thereafter, there will be videos which will go into each section in a little more detail. Okay, let's get started. So on your screen, find the HealthOne icon, and the best way to open it is to right-click and select Run as Administrator, and I'll explain that in subsequent videos. Select Yes, enter your username and then your password. The page will automatically open on the Patient Selector page. Now, to be GDPR compliant, I'm just going to hide this data. Okay, so what you can see here there are several tabs on the top here. There's the Patient Selector page and the Appointments page. Action plans we'll discuss at a later stage. To look at your workflow, which is the majority of how doctors and nurses will start their day, select Appointments, go to the day in question. So we're going to look at my workflow for tomorrow, and we're going to look at my list, which is John. And you can see now there are a number of things which have opened up for me. My main list of patients is here. Each patient I have to see is a white patient, white meaning they haven't arrived yet. If a patient has arrived, they're colored yellow. Once a patient has been finished with, they turn green, and you can add additional colors to maybe highlight things you want to make yourself more aware of, and we'll go into that in later detail. Okay, there's also a list for any house calls that come up, and at the moment it's empty because we haven't started tomorrow yet. There's also a script list for scripts I have to send to the local pharmacies. And there's also a list for blood results to check, and that's what that little symbol shows, and also for letters to have a look at as well. Okay, so to give you an example of seeing my first patient, I'm going to open this patient here. What you will see initially is that on this large section here, the last consultation note will appear. This consultation note is also written here, and then the previous consultation notes appear above that, and you can see the dates. So if I want to start a consultation with this patient, I will go to the Transaction tab and I will insert a transaction. And in this case, I want to choose consultation, though I could choose visit at home, consultation by telephone, visit at the hospital, drug prescription, etc. But I'm going to choose consultation. So I choose consultation, click OK. You'll notice that the consultation page is now empty because I haven't entered a format that I'd like to use to record my consultation. So I'm going to go to this Insert a Sequence tab, and I'm going to choose SOAP. And SOAP for this practice is predefined in this way. So you will often find the consultation, the patient may have left a message preceding their consultation. So patient concern re passage of blood PR. Okay. So I may talk to the patient, so passing dark red blood PR for 2 months. No change to bowel habit. Okay. Let's say offered and declined. Empty rectum. FOB. Positive. And let's say the patient also wanted their blood pressure checked. So just to mention what I did there, I held down the control key and I've hit enter once and twice, and that allows you to create some space. Also would like a BP check. So I'm going to check the blood pressure. I'll enter it here. So systolic blood pressure, and I'm going to see that the systolic blood pressure in this case was 160/95, and that was after being checked several times. Okay, so my assessment is possible bowel cancer, high BP despite medication. Plan, refer for assessment, script. So within HealthOne now, I have the option to send a referral to the hospital and send it through HealthLink. And that's going to be dealt with in this button here. And I can choose the arrow, and I'm going to send a standard referral. And I'm going to choose public hospitals, and the nearest one to us will be Sligo. Well, for some reason it's not letting me enter the details, possibly because this isn't a real patient, but nonetheless, you can enter those details, fill in any relevant details which we'll go into later, and add medication, and then send the referral. Clicking OK. So we'll close this at the moment because we don't wish to send that for real. I've also decided that I want to increase blood pressure medication. So I go to the medication here. And just to show you again, that's the tablet button. And then I'm looking at his current medication, Ramipril 10, which is maximum, lorcanidipine 10. So I'm going to increase the dose of this. So I'm going to highlight it, right click. I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to say I'm going to change the dose of this medication. Sorry, wrong drug. And I'm going to increase it to 20. I'm going to prescribe it for 6 months. Put that on the prescription. The health prescription is there. Now, when I send this to the pharmacist, I'll pick a local pharmacy here. What's interesting with HealthOne software is that it will also tell the pharmacy what we've stopped and what we've increased, and the way we've written our prescription format, our template, we've actually put the header at the bottom, and that allows me to put a quick message above, dose increased. And if I press send, that will then go to Cara Pharmacy. Okay, so I'm not going to send it. I'm going to close this here, but you'll see the prescription is there. If you do send it, a recording of the email being sent will go below. Okay, so that's how I would enter a consultation for a patient, and that's how I would then finish my consultation note, which would be saved. And obviously, as patients arrive, the receptionist is going to turn them yellow. I will see them turning them green, and I'll work through my patient list. Okay, so that's the patient list. Here is my script list. So again, I'm using the same test patient. So I'm going to open my first prescription of the day. And normally you'll see a message from one of the receptionists. and it will simply be a script that she's prepared, and it will ask me to send this to Cara Pharmacy, please. And if I click on the button to go into the prescription module, the drugs are there. I can now click print, and you'll notice that in HealthOne we've set this so that it's not going to print a physical paper script, it's going to send an email. So send prescription to pharmacy as an email, and I can send that again, and I can add a note if I wish to and press send. I don't at this moment in time, so I'm going to close that. Okay. Again, a comment will appear below showing that the email has been sent, and from whom? john.garvey@healthmail.ie, and to which pharmacy. Okay. So then I'm going to work through my script list, and then I'm going to come to my bloods and letters that I have to review. So if you look here, there's a comment. That little paperclip tells you a comment has been added, and if you hover over the patient, you can see cardiology letter of the 28th of January. So open this up. We'll look for expert report, 28th of January. I can open up this letter, which I've taken from another patient and deleted any information which wasn't relevant. So your recent blood test is satisfactory. I therefore advise no change here. That's fine. I need, however, to make a record that I've seen this letter. So I'll write a comment, and I'm going to use a synonym that we've created for comments, which is just CC. I'm going to OK that. Now I use a software package called Text Expander, which allows me just to press .jg, and it will then say read by Dr. John Garvey on Monday the 3rd of February 2025 at 15:46, and I'll click OK. And that shows that I have acted on that letter and I've reviewed it. If that letter told me to change medication, I probably would make those changes below, so that you could see the letter, see I've read it, and see that I've taken action on it. So that's an example of me acting on that. Then there's also a laboratory test for me to check as an example. So here's a full blood count result that's come in on this patient. So you can see the white cell count is low. So I might decide, for example, that I want to repeat this blood count. So I would come here to make a comment, so every other user in our practice can see that I've seen this blood result. So I'm going to decide to say that this is an abnormal result. Low white cell count. Repeat in 2 weeks. Now I can decide to make my note a little bit more obvious. My note here will appear below, and I'm going to highlight it. Anything other than 0 will make the note red. So I put it there. And now that's my decision. So I might also at this stage though tell the patient that I'd like them to come in for a blood test. So I'm going to type TT, which brings up text. And you can see how these synonyms are created. If I right click on this item, define a synonym, you can see it's TT. And you can change that as you wish. Okay. So in this case, the text message is, dear, your blood test was slightly low. Please book for another test in 2 weeks. Now, I will copy this. I will then go to the text button, which is here, send the text message. Now that is not a real mobile number, but I would put I would paste the text message there, and then I'm going to press send. Okay, so that is a brief introduction to the majority of work you're going to do on a day-to-day basis in HealthOne. You're going to try to work through your lists so that at the end of the day, your list looks a little bit more like this. It's full of jobs that have been done. Okay, that's the end of the introduction. Thanks for watching.